Good morning, Pelham Road. Hope you're having a good day today. Probably early for you, so I hope you're having a good one. If it's not, I hope it's going to get better. You can still hear Natalie next door playing in her pool. I did get an email this week that somebody said, do you know any resource that teaches or explains what systemic racism is in a simple format? Now, me, I love charts, I love graphs, and I love cartoons. And these are the simplest ways for me to understand things. And I ran across something on YouTube the other day. It's not perfect, but it's good. It's a good sort of introduction to what people mean by systemic racism. And I don't know how to tell you to find it on YouTube other than to say, go to YouTube, search, I'll tell you what, search Jamal, that he uses an illustration of two boys, Jamal and Kevin. Jamal and Kevin, systemic racism on YouTube. And I think you ought to be able to find that story. All right? Well, we're coming back to hospitality today. And yesterday we ended with hospitality as the act of opening our arms. And today we're going to say that hospitality is the act of seeing with our eyes. And I'm going to begin with a story from the Old Testament, story of Abraham. The Lord appeared to Abraham by the oaks of Mamre. As he sat at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day, he looked up, he saw three men standing near him. When he saw them, he ran from the tent entrance to meet them, and he bowed down to the ground, and he said, "My Lord, if I find favor with you, do not pass your servant by. Let a little water be brought, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And let me bring a little bread, that you may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on, since you have come to your servant." So they said, "We'll do as you have said." And Abraham hastened into the tent to Sarah and said, "Make ready quick 3 measures of choice flour, knead it, and make cakes." Okay, I know right now all the ladies are going, yeah, Abraham said, "I want to welcome y'all," but then he runs in and he asks Sarah to really do all the work. I get it, okay? Point noted. Abraham ran to the herd and took a calf, tender and good, and gave it to the servants, and who hastened to prepare it. Okay, point 2 taken. Then he took curds and milk and the calf that he had prepared, and he set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree while they ate. What is clear to us as readers that is revealed later to Abraham is that what he is calling and seeing as men are not men at all. The Lord appeared. That's the headline here. The stranger, the one different, is the Lord in disguise. That's what's going on here. Abraham doesn't know it, but we, the reader, does. As the human need for hospitality and welcome is constant, so it also seems is the human fear of the stranger. We are called by our God to reach out our hand, to open our eyes and share. But we seem to be conditioned by the God of this world to fear the person who really isn't like us, or one maybe we just don't know. The person who, I don't know, there's a lot of ways to explain it. It's the person who's of another religion, the person who has a different color of skin. But it could be just somebody that's a stranger to us. We just don't know them. They may look just like us. They may dress just like us. They may have the same skin as we have. We just don't know them. And so we're a little bit suspicious. You see, there is nothing in Scripture, at least in this Scripture, that suggests Abraham thinks these men are anything more than just traveling strangers. Abraham's not telling these folks to keep moving. I mean, he's welcoming them now. He is saying right here is a place of rest, a place that is safe. And these are really strangers. I can't get that across to you enough. We know what they are, but in Abraham's world, Abraham doesn't know what they are. He's acting in a very hospitable way. Welcomes these men. That's what Abraham does. Because Abraham tended to recognize the face of God in everybody. All people are his brothers and sisters because Abraham just got it. He understood that we were all God's children. Now, I know it's scary to follow the Scripture, okay? We read one yesterday that's really scary. Contribute to the needs of the saints and extend hospitality to the stranger. Extend hospitality to the stranger. I mean, there is plenty in our DNA to make us afraid of those who need the welcome of God the most. And that's why God tells us to do it. He knows we're going to be afraid. If it was easy, like eating, there'd be no instructions. It's hard. And that's why Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Paul all preach that hospitality is part of God's prescription for a troubled world. So ask yourself, how can I be more hospitable? How can I extend hospitality to strangers? What does that look like? Have a good day. See you tomorrow.